Hey guys, welcome back to Mad Rat Garage. Glad to see you make it back to the shop. This week, let me introduce you to our new project, a 1966 Chevy Chevelle Crew Cab. This is going to be a two-part project. If you want to see more, want to be notified when part 2 comes out, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification, help us grow as a channel. You're much appreciated. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're already a subscriber, we appreciate you coming back. With all that being said, let's check it out. All right. We got her in the shop. Gonna get her up on the lift. Let me tell you a little bit about it and where we're going with it. So, first thing, it's been sitting for almost 15 years. We don't know exactly, but more than 12, not more than 15. And because of that, we're putting a new fuel tank in it. My brother bought this 20 years ago. I'd say 25 years ago. I don't know the exact date. He bought it from the original owner with 60,000 original miles. It's a 4-door crew cab, 3 on the tree, 230 V6, straight 6, not V6. There's no V there. It's just straight. So, he did have it repainted. The paint on it was fading, and it was in really good shape, other than it was flaking and fading. So this is like a 90s Geo Metro. God, he's owned this since the 90s. So probably 30 years he's owned it. It's in really nice shape. It's got 66 or 67,000 miles on it now. He put redid the dash pad, and the door panels were a little scuffed up from getting in and out and whatnot, and he went ahead and just re-dyed those black. And the seats are good. Everything's really good and really nice. Put new carpet in it. Put all new moldings and whatnot on it. Weather stripping. Trim's all good. I mean, it's a really nice car. And the 4-doors are getting popular now. But it sat for so long because the radiator went bad. He pulled the radiator out, and he wasn't sure what he was going to do next. He's like, well, if I keep it, I wouldn't mind putting a V8 in it. But man, this thing runs so good. It's kind of it's kind of one of those things that's like, do you just throw a V8 in because you want one? I mean, it'd be nice to do it because this motor was bad, then it's more justified. And he was driving it every day at the time during the summers. And so he pulled the radiator out, was deciding on whether to go with a big radiator, if he was going to keep it, if he was going to sell it. And then he noticed the water pump was leaking, so he pulled the water pump out and the thermostat. And that was 12, 15 years ago. And it's been sitting ever since. So, he's decided to sell it. We want to make it reliable. Good driver for the next person. No reason to spend a bunch of money swapping it. So we're gonna go through the brakes, probably do all new brakes. We're doing the new fuel tank and any lines that need to be done. He has purchased, you can see it through the bag, new carburetor, there's a new distributor, new wires, plugs, cap, rotor, a chrome water pump, chrome oil filter, chrome lid. We've got some new bezels. New fuel tank. New radiator. new water, new fuel pump. So my job is, I'm gonna go through, chrome valve cover, chrome side covers. Gonna jazz it up a little bit. Just because it's could just use some freshening up and cleaning up, and if we're gonna be in here to this point, why not? So, my job today, I already hit it with brake clean once, but I'm gonna spray it down and with some more brake clean, and I'm gonna scrub it with a wire brush just to knock any loose grease or dirt off of it. Gonna end up sandblasting and repainting that. Gonna end up painting all this stuff. And we're gonna paint the whole motor black. I like black. I think it's a little more modern looking, even though there's nothing gonna be modern about this car. But it'll look really good with black and the chrome side covers. The chrome there, valve cover, chrome water pump. I think we even got a chrome neck. Everything else black. I think it'll look nice. I think it'll look fresh. It'll look a little more modern. And then we're going to have to probably, for reliability reasons, probably have to do wheel cylinders. And we're probably just going to do brakes because my brother's never done brakes on this. And he doesn't think they've ever been done. So they're probably the original brakes. And yeah, that's what we're up to, guys. So come along for the voyage. We're just going to do a quick down and dirty, clean up what we can, get her tuned up, painted up, cleaned up, ready for the next owner. Ready for the road. So come on along, let's get after it. That's a bit cleaner. Again, we ain't building a show car here, so we're just trying to make the stuff when you first pop the hood and look in here. It's good, you know. Like someone else said, the Craigslist rebuild. We're not trying to fool anybody. We're just freshening it up. I mean, this thing, when it did run, ran like a Swiss watch. It's just been sitting, so we're gonna freshen things up. And before I paint any of this, I'm gonna pull the carb, pull the lines, and expose this better. Tape off the manifold there. I've got cast iron paint that I like to paint my manifolds and stuff with. So I'm gonna paint that all cast iron paint, and then again the block black. So, and then we'll put the car back on and start from there. The only part about this whole thing that scares me, it's been apart. I don't know how far it's been this far apart, how long. But the radiator and the water pump being out of it has been quite a while. That's probably been 12 plus years. My brother said he bagged and tagged all the bolts. I hope he did. Putting back together somebody else is taken apart. Sometimes will bite you in the ass. So, just notice that too. I'll probably pull that off, sandblast and paint that, get that fresh looking too. So, thanks for coming along for the ride, guys. Let's get back after it. second coat on there. Covering pretty good now. I'm throw the first coat of this cast coat iron, duplo color. Do this in it, and even on the headers manifold. Header manifold tends to burn up, changes kind of back to that color, but I'm going to get a coat on there. Then all I have to do is touch up where I hit on the black. You kind of use some cardboard and whatnot, but for right now we're going to get a full coating on there. So it'll be good. It'll look good. Ends up being a big improvement. I like the way this stuff goes on. It's funny, as you're spraying it, you forget that it's not, you forget it's paint. Because it looks so much like cast iron that while you're painting it, you're like, oh, I can't believe it just looks like cast iron. It looks like you're blowing the old paint off. At least that's just kind of the feeling I get when I'm doing it. It's just like, oh, just change that to cast iron. Oh, it blew the rust right off. I'm weird like that. It's just what it feels like to me. Huge improvement. Already looking better. We'll get another coat on that tomorrow. That'll look good. Good and dried up. Looking decent. Well, dad nabbit, that wasn't recording. You didn't get to see how nasty this was. I spray a little brake clean on a Scotch-Brite, and then you rub your lines, and look, looks almost new. It would have been great if you could have seen it beforehand. Thought to hit record, wasn't recording. I need a different camera where I can see more than a blinking light. Oh, maybe I can show you that. See, a little crud right there. Oh, there. All right. I'll do that to the fuel line. This is the fuel line. Clean it up. Yeah, so those ain't 100% perfect. And they're not 100% run. I got to put the fuel pump in first, then I'll get this all moved and everything, and then I'll put this in last. And I got to find out where this bolts to. This could be a valve cover like that. It's logical to me, but it's not where it was, and that one doesn't look like it was out. So I'll figure it out. We will figure it out. That part's that. But don't those look better? Huh? Less than 10 minutes to clean them up. Are they perfect? No. you want perfect, call Dave. You know who Dave is. And Mr. Kindig. They do perfection. We do every day. Tidy it up with as little as you got, the best you can. All right, just for reference and for future owners and whatnot, getting the side covers off. Look at how clean and nice that is. I said low mileage, well taken care of vehicle. You can't beat that. No sludge, no crud, nothing. Real good. Again, that side. Super clean. Super clean. Haven't cleaned it. That's just opening it up. Big improvement. Sandblasted the nuts or the bolts. Gonna look better in sunlight when fluorescent lights don't do it any justice in here. Once we get everything dialed in and regular lighting on it like you're at a car show, it'll look a lot better. All right, valve cover off. Let's take a look in there. Clean, clean, clean. It looks good. No sludge, no crud. Man, hard to believe that's got 67,000 miles on it. Real nice. Looking good. Sandblasted a couple of parts. Gonna paint those today. Get those black. Alternator bracket, top and lower. And we got the water pump. Working on parts. Old fuel pump. That's right. Chrome alternator, the old alternator. Alright, we go a little bit further. Our wires on. Coil, distributor, top dead centered, everything's all set. Got a new fuel pump on, got the fuel lines ran, got the vacuum advance. Fuel lines run together. Under that bracket went a little better. A new fuel temp for the gauge. Got thermostat housing. New alternator. Haven't got the belt on, so that hasn't tension, but got that on. Brackets painted. Nice new chrome water pump. We ran into a problem with the water pump. Did not know this, and there's very, very, very little information on the internet, but on these 6-cylinders, there is a long and a short, just like on a small block Chevy. And commonly, almost everything back then came with a long. That was the most common. But the shorts became very popular with hot rodders. So you can get the shorts and not the longs. It's very hard to come across the long ones from what I'm finding. And when my brother ordered this, they didn't give him an option. They never even say, oh, do you have a long pump or a short shaft? Never even said, because this is the most common. And it was short shaft. And yeah, so the pulley that goes on there is this. We sandblasted and painted it. And when you go to line it up, because it's a short shaft, it actually hits the water pump before the shaft even gets there. You can see the nubs there, but that's it. And after doing some measuring, there's a 5/8 of a difference in the sizes. So what do? You know, spend some time searching the old interwebs, looking, see what we come up with. And I guess they make a a shallower pulley that I guess is kind of a holy grail. I don't know why, because they want 150 bucks for them in chrome and 120 in non-chrome for used ones on eBay. And the shallower would run, I mean, real close. That's more than buying another water pump. These water pumps, you know, a non-chrome water pump, if you can find one, that's the problem. And I think I found one on Rock Auto, finally found a longer one, even though it seems to be measurements wise off by like an eighth, maybe a quarter of an inch. From their measurements, don't know where they're measuring from versus where I'm measuring from, but from the base to the outside of the flange, where the pulley bolts to, I was getting 4 5/8 on the one we took off. The one we're looking at, they're saying it's 4.43, whatever that turns out to be, in fractions. So it seems like it'd be a little bit shorter. Anyways, you know, take the risk of buying that from Rock Auto and ends up coming, it's like 50 bucks for that one. So cheaper to do that than a pulley. After about an hour, hour and a half of digging around, looking, and not sure what we wanted to do, and really wanted to stay with the chrome if we could. My brother went over to his shop and dug around a little bit and came back, and he was laughing, and he's like, because I said, I got to have a small block pulley around here somewhere. And if it's a short water pump pulley, maybe it's the same. Oh, and to back up, the reason there's two different shafts is it seems like the long shaft, the reason it's so rare, it's a non-air conditioning water pump. The short ones were for air conditioning. That's one reason the hot rodders got them so popular, switching over, because then they could run air. Because the long shaft can't handle the extra stress of the belts on that longer shaft. You run a shorter shaft, it can withstand more stress. And then more room because you're running a bigger radiator or a different fan or whatever. So it's a multiple of reasons that you do it. Same on small block with short pump, long pump. He came back with his pulley and from the motor he put in his 56 Chevy, you know, 35 years ago, 37 years ago. And we lined it up with this and it lines up perfect. It's got the exact same hub center for centering it, same size, and fits perfectly. He's been holding on to that thing for 37 years because it was off a rare Chevelle 327 motor. I can't remember the designation, but it's a pretty rare motor, 360 horse 327. And I thought, oh, well, maybe all the factory original parts are worth something. Don't know if the pulley is or not. It's worth 120 bucks used on eBay. But since we have it, we got it soaking. I'm going to sandblast it, paint that up, and that'll be going on here next. So I'm waiting to do that this morning, and got a couple other things to button up on here. Let me turn you back around. But we got, you know, you can only do so much with these wires, and I didn't custom make them like I like to because he already had these bought. But did the old zip tie wire looms and does a nice job of holding everything in a nice configuration instead of having everything all jumbled like spaghetti like they get under here on these 6-cylinders. I just wish this was a lot shorter. I might look to see if I've got another end that'll go into the cap and then really tuck this thing down better because that's just a big goofy loop. I could lower the coil a little bit, but I mean, we're only going to get this to drop minutely. Everything kind of seems to line up okay otherwise. So got new battery tray in, got new battery cables, got them run. I'm going to take this out, put a fresh one in, and she's coming along, guys.
A few moments later.
Well, folks, I'm dumb. I decided to cut that coil wire. I couldn't stand the big loop on it. I found another end and was going to put the other end on, and you can't cut silicone wires. There's no metal core. I wasn't really thinking about that. So I'm without a coil wire at the moment. I have one that might work over here. It's a little on the short side if I cut it to put another coil style end on it. So I think what is best is I called and ordered 2 feet of bulk 7mm wire. Be able to make what I need out of that. I got a couple of ends, so I can make it fit. But either way, it needed to be done. That thing was way too big. Must have been designed for a different year L6 because the coil's really close to the distributor on this, and that coil wire was just a big weird looking loop in there, like a field goal. So, live and learn. Live and learn. Well, guys, that's all the time I got this week. Ran out of time. Got to get this video out. I told you it's going to be a two-parter, so I'm running a little short because I'm still waiting on a part to finish that engine compartment up, but we're real close. A couple little things, radiator can go in, and we're good to go. So next week, we'll start the video off with the engine compartment complete, and then we'll go ahead and show you doing the brakes, converting this bad boy to power disc brakes, and putting the fuel tank in, and hopefully going for a test drive. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Much appreciated. And once again, I hate to be repetitive. I know nobody likes being told what to do, but it really helps. If you like this content, you want to see more like it, you want to be notified for part 2 on this, please subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification button. It all helps me grow this channel into something that hopefully I look forward to doing and you look forward to watching. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Don't forget, don't wait for your hot rod to be perfect to enjoy it. Do a little something, get her out, enjoy it, put her back in the shop, do the next thing. Till next time, guys. Thanks for stopping by.